Welcome to the CWC podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. We appreciate the support. We haven't picked up any new subs since the last video, but that's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay. We know it's a holiday period.
Yes.
Everybody's on vacation. People are traveling. People are hanging out, relaxing, doing those types of things. I'm doing the same thing. All right. But still, we want to go ahead and give all of our audience a round of applause. Thank you for being here with us. Let me play it again. Because last time, I don't think my cheer came through good. So my cheer came through good this time. So what are we talking about today on the show? Today on the show, two things. Number one, we're going to do two things. Year-end wrap-up and looking forward to 2023. So we're going to kind of cover two things in this one video. First of all, what did we accomplish in 2022? What do we want to accomplish in 2023? 2022 was a rough year for all of us. I think everybody, it doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, how much money you make, what job, what career. 2022 was pretty tough. It was a tough year.
2022.
Yeah.
So you were kind of 2020 times two.
Times two. There you go.
Through it again.
Went through it again. Right.
Yeah.
So it was a tough year, especially financially, I think, for most of us. And here we are at the end of the year, right? Last minute Christmas shopping, all these things. We continue to feel the squeeze going into the end of the year. You're trying to get to the finish line, but you have to keep going to the store, and you forgot to get something for your niece and all these things. We get it. We're all going through the same thing.
You still have to eat.
And you have to eat, right? We got to still go to the grocery store. Imagine that. Yeah. Everybody hates doing that now. It's $700 to go to the store. So, but with that being said, there's a lot of good things that happen. And what I like to do is do kind of a year-end review of myself and did I accomplish my own goals? But before I do that, let me ask Amina, did you accomplish your goals? First of all, did you have goals in 2022?
Yes, I had some things that I wanted to knock off my list, some things I wanted to manifest, some things I wanted to get started. Mm-hmm. And I could work backwards might be the best way. The most memorable is my foot surgery.
Right.
I have been living with terrible bunions for a very long time.
And you know what, guys? Let's give this a clap.
And
successful foot surgery.
Yes, thank you.
Those were the couple of weeks when you were out. Sorry. You were out. I'd done a couple of shows. I'd done a couple by myself and a couple with my daughter.
Yeah.
That's when Amina was out having her foot surgery. So it was successful.
Yes. One down, one to go.
So you got to get the other foot.
It's another healing journey. I've been on a healing journey for 5 years now. When you get to midlife here, it's time for tune-ups. So I'm starting my tune-ups.
All right. So you had successful foot surgery.
Yes.
You have had some success with your own social media. So just to set a little context. So obviously, Amina's my social media person. I don't know anything about social media. Everything I learned about social media, I learned in 2022 because I had no presence. I had no Facebook, no nothing. I had a stale Instagram account and a stale Twitter account that I never really used. But as I started doing the podcast, I started realizing, okay, whether you like social media or not, you have to have a presence there if you want to build your brand, if you want to push your content and get it out to the masses. Listen, I told you in the last video or the video before, 72% of Americans use social media. So you got to get on there if you want your stuff to be seen. If you don't want it to be seen, then that's fine.
That's okay.
but if you want it to be seen, you got to have social media. So I've learned that. With that, our stats for our channel's 4 months old. We're at 127 subscribers. We're doing pretty well according to the analytics on YouTube in terms of what our channel, the age of the channel, and kind of what the traction has gained so far is actually pretty good. So I'm happy with that. I mean, we're only 4 months in. We're 4 months in. We've got, by this time next year when we're doing the 2023 year in review, man, we're going to have a whole lot to talk about because we're going to have a whole 12-month catalog.
And that's just so much more that I will be learning. And because if you guys didn't know, that's another little thing I could knock off my list, or that I've at least started gaining more momentum in. And I handle all the social media aspect of the channel and Skylar's social media, and I think my social media management skills have blossomed in 2022. Skyla had some breakout moments on her Instagram. I'm quite proud of, since I am the momager. And I do all the SEO for this. So I'm busy, and I'm learning a lot of new things, and it's a long game. So if you're in the social media world, you know it is a long game, and just stick with it. Whatever it is that you're doing, stick with it.
So you've hit some milestones. You've done Skyla stuff. You've been pushing that. You gained some traction there. The channel started to gain some traction. Now, with that being said, because guys, I suggest that you all do this too. Before the end of the year, do a year in review on yourself. You can just sit in your room, whatever, and just take a look and say, okay, what did I accomplish in 2022? What do I want to accomplish in 2023? Write it down. I'm guilty of not doing that. But I was watching a video today where a guy was talking about goal setting for 2023. And he said, you must write the stuff down.
It is very important.
Very important.
Make lists. And the thing about the list is that people put a lot of pressure on themselves with the list, because you feel like you have to get the list done by the end of the day. That's not the point of the list. The list is to have the list and make sure whatever you don't finish that day, 1 to 2 to 3, as much as you can get off the list. But if you don't finish the list, you just carry over those couple of things to the next day and you get it done. But don't beat yourself up for not getting it done that day. That's not the point of the list, is to hurt yourself. Right.
It's just, and it keeps you, I think, on track too, like for what you and you want to list this stuff in order of precedence, like what's the most important thing I want to get done, and then, kind of gonna go from there. And that will help you just stay track of your goals. I don't do New Year's resolutions, so to speak. I don't necessarily believe in them, because I think you can have a resolution for every day. I don't think it has to do with the new year. I think you could wake up today and tomorrow and say, hey, I want to do this. I want to, so I don't think it's tied to the year. Like we were talking about earlier, it's going to be funny. The first 2 weeks of the year, 3 weeks of the year, you're going to see your local gym jam-packed with everybody in the world is going to be in there. You're not going to be able to use a machine. There's going to be people all over the place. 2 weeks after that, it'll be back down to the regular crowd.
Yeah, don't worry too much.
Because those were all the people who made the resolution that I'm going to start going to the gym.
Yeah.
I don't really think, it can work for people. I just personally just think it's something that it's like
I said it's a setup for failure.
Yeah.
It's, you really build yourself up and you're got it on a pedestal, whatever it is, you put it on a pedestal. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. Yeah. And then you don't.
Yeah. 2 weeks in. And I've seen this even with guys that have, come to work out with me, and they'll say, hey man, I'm going to start going to the gym. And I think that one dude made it like 3 weeks with me. And I'm not Lee Haney or anybody like that. I'm not the super guy in the gym or anything like that. I just have the dedication to actually go and actually do it, and the motivation to do it. And a lot of people can't keep up with me. Guys, especially guys my age, they be like, man. So I don't put pressure on yourself like that. Like, no, after the first of the year, I'm going to go to the gym. Again, guys, you know what I told y'all? All of y'all are supposed to be in the gym anyway. It has nothing to do with the year. You need to be in the gym anyway. So with that being said, let's talk about, let me pull up my outline here. So we talked about our goals or the things that we accomplished. For me personally, getting the podcast.
What did you accomplish so far that you can think of?
So for me this year, getting the podcast launched was probably my biggest accomplishment.
And stepping out onto social media all at the same time for never having any shred of social media. I think that's pretty ballsy.
And when I put that first intro video out there, I sent it all to all my friends. There were some people that were shocked because they were like, man, this guy's not a social media guy. And then here I am on YouTube doing a long form, basically presentation and sending it out to everybody. So it was kind of like a coming out of the shell moment for myself. The good news for me, like I said, this kind of came natural to me because I've done public speaking. I've stood in front of rooms. I've spoken at conferences and conventions and things like that. So I'm not intimidated by the eyes on me, right?
Yeah, make you nervous.
So that's kind of what helped me just stay focused on the content. And I'll worry about all the eyes on me later. But getting the podcast launched is 4 months old. Just got that rolling. I also, in 2022, I did hit some personal fitness goals that I had kind of set for myself. I stayed steady in the gym all year. I really didn't take any real long breaks. I've been able to.
LLC.
I was able to launch my LLC in April. Got that going for my collectibles business. Yeah. I went to some conferences. I made some friends. Guys, you're going to make new friends through your hobbies or through your endeavors that you actually start to do. Yeah. So I met two guys who probably were going to be long-term friends of mine when I went to the MegaCon conference last year or this year. I think it was in May. I met two guys that we're friends to this day. They're going to be on the show one day in 2023. So if you're in the same stale circle of people, it's because you aren't doing something new. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with those people, because don't we always do that? I'm tired of the same people.
It's not them.
Right? Don't we do that?
Yeah.
And then you realize it's not them. It's just that you keep doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You're doing the same routine. So the same people are going to be there because those are the people who are there for your routine. So once you step out and do something different, you step out and do, I want to try this hobby. I want to try that. I want to try this. Then you start meeting other people.
And the unknown is where the miracles can happen.
Yeah.
Hey, you might meet your future wife there.
There you go. Like, guys, I know you guys we're bad with it. We stay stuck in the same routine that we've been. Get out of that routine. So that's one thing I learned about 2022 was what I learned. Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
This was not necessarily comfortable for me to do a podcast, but it was something that I felt like I had a lot to say. And I felt like, why, if I could start my own podcast at my own studio, why not?
Why not?
Why not give it a shot? And then let's see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So those were my big accomplishments for the year. I did pick up new hobbies. I put that down as a bullet point. Did you make any new friends? Did you pick up any new hobbies? I did both.
Yeah.
Did you?
Let me see. Did I get any new hobbies? Well, this is a new hobby.
This is a new hobby.
I never, this is totally new for me. And I was nervous in the beginning.
Yeah.
Quite nervous in the beginning. And
you were.
You
were.
Yeah. It was a little stiff, a little nervous. We've come a long way in just 12 videos?
14. This is 15. So this will be the 15th episode that we've published once this one goes up. So we've only did 14 of these.
So we've grown actually in a couple of ways. Not as nervous.
Yeah.
Our sound check is a lot faster.
Oh, it used to take us hours.
It was horrendous.
Oh, the editing was hours.
Days.
It was days. Days.
Yeah.
I'd be up.
The thumbnails have improved, have they?
The thumbnail. So guys, when you go to the channel and you see the thumbnails, the bright, pretty thumbnails, she does all of that. There's actually an art to it. It's not just you grab a picture and put it there. Like there's things that you do for humans. We're interesting. The things that catch our eye, like people call it. They say, "Oh, why are they using these clickbait stuff?" Because they have to.
Sometimes
I'm telling you that now.
Those guys have to. I don't like clickbait, but
clickbait I don't like because the thumbnail has actually nothing to do with the content.
Yeah, I
cannot stand that. That's really, really annoying. If the thumbnail is related to the content, I really don't care what the thumbnail. If you put pretty girls or whatever you want, just are we going to be talking about those girls, or are you just putting that there?
They're not in the video.
That's annoying. That's really, really annoying. So, but little things like that we've learned, we've gotten better with the editing. You've got better with the thumbnails and the search engine optimization, all these things. So these are personal goals that that, and there's new goals that we were talking about earlier. We were talking about today on the phone. We want to invest back into the business in 2023.
Yeah.
We want to get a new camera. We want to get some different lighting. We want to change up a couple of other things. So
we may go on that podcasters convention too.
There's a podcasters convention that we're looking at potentially going to. Hey,
go meet new people.
Circle of
get new ideas.
Know. It's that person that you meet. It's that one person that you meet that leads to another meeting with this person or that person, and that's when you feel like you're growing, and you're even just in your social setting, and you're doing different things. If
you're doing the same thing every day, guys, going to work the same way, talking to the same people, having the same assignment, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're expecting a different outcome in your life, and you're unhappy or you're blaming everyone else for your unhappiness. It's the traffic's fault. It's your boss's fault. It's the people that were whatever. It's really not. It's all a choice. It's a choice. If you're choosing to get out of the bed the same way, do everything that you did the same thing that the day before, how do you expect to get anything new come into your reality so that you can try something different, so that new doorways and pathways can open? So I think one of the things that we can take away from this as far as phrases go is, try something new.
Try something new. So phrases, try something new. And then the phrase you gave me, which helped me out a lot, which, by the way, so I think I told you guys in one of the other shows, I had a really bad experience on a trip that I went on. And I came back and I was just devastated. I couldn't believe it. We had it planned out to a T. We had every day mapped out for everything we were going to do. And then we couldn't go on the trip. My sister, because I called her because I needed to talk to somebody. I said, hey, I need to know, what is the universe telling me on this one? Because this doesn't make any sense. And she just told me, don't take score too soon. I was like, okay, all right. Let me let that sink in, and let me let it make sense. And then as you explained to me what you meant by that, it helped me get through that disappointment. 2 weeks later, I launched a podcast because I needed somewhere to put that energy. And I was very kind of down at that time. And I was like,
it was something that you were going to do.
Yeah.
And the disappointment is what gave you the fuel to launch it. Because it wasn't like all of a sudden you had the idea because of the disappointment. No. It was the fuel that you needed to get going. So sometimes if we don't take scores so soon, we just say, okay, this is happening. You're allowed to be upset, I guess, for a minute. I mean, that's normal and natural, but there's something.
It was 2 days of me being moping around my apartment, pretty much.
Try something different.
Day and a half to 2 days of me moping around. And then we had been talking about starting a podcast for 3-4 months prior to that. But it wasn't until I had that disappointment where I said to myself, okay, I need to take action.
That's the contrast.
Yeah.
Sometimes where the contrast is so great, that's where you make the change.
Yeah. So that helped me. That disappointment led to me actually, because who knows? If I went on the trip and had a great time, maybe I don't start the podcast for another month.
Another year.
Another 2 months. Another 3 months. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
The good news is that kick-started me to say, okay, you know what, man? You need somewhere to put this, because I had a lot of frustration built up. And I was like, you know what? Let me work.
New hobby.
Let me work. Let me find a new hobby. Let me start looking into what lights I need to get, what soundboard I need to get, what camera I need to get. That became a journey in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I spent that rest of that weekend watching YouTube videos of other people how to start a podcast.
And learning.
And it's fun to learn, I think.
Because getting up and going to work every day and coming home and having dinner and doing it all over every single day, you're going to have the same year as 2022 as 2023.
That's the old matrix that I've been telling you. If you're still in that matrix, you got to get out of that matrix. That same routine matrix. We've all been there. Which leads to my next point. So in 2022, 2022 was a very rough year financially, as we stated. We had you have inflation, wages are stagnant. Companies act like a 2% raise can keep up with 20% inflation. Interest rates rising, making it difficult. On people's credit cards, rates are going up. It's harder to get approved for loans and things like that.
Yeah.
On top of all that, all the asset prices of everything has come down. So your stock portfolios are lower, your crypto portfolios are lower, your house is worth less than it was worth a year ago. So you have all this happening. And then on top of that, if you happen to live in Florida like we do, our rent went up by 22%. Yeah. Florida had the highest rental increase in the nation. 22% for Florida. Tennessee was 18% in second place.
Wow.
I'm going to leave in the description box, I will leave the article to this that I picked up for research on this to show you, what I think Minnesota was the lowest. It was only 2 or 3% rental increase. But Florida, we took it on the chin. We took it on the chin big time when it came.
Paradise.
If you were a renter, and right now all my renters are out there nodding like, yeah, because they came in with the hammer. Like, oh, you want to stay in this apartment? We want 22% more.
Yeah.
So with that being said, more than 1 million women left the workforce in 2022. This is according to Fortune magazine.
Wow.
1 million women just
picked
up and said,
the boss babes?
Some of it is that. Some of it is that some women actually went back to be homemakers. Like, believe it or not, there are still some women that still want to do that. Like, I know that it's not that many anymore, but there are still women that want to make the home, raise the children, do all those things. All the stuff that feminism tells you is taboo. There's still a lot of women who want to do that.
Yeah.
So some women have been able to do that. But most of them got into the gig economy. We talked about the gig economy
a few videos back.
In 2023, it's expected the global value of the gig economy, which gig economy, again, is basically anything that you decided to do outside of your normal 9 to 5 that makes money. That's pretty much the gig economy. It covers pretty much anything, whether you're, YouTube channel, collectibles. I don't care if you're taking cans down to the recycling center. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. All of that is part of the gig economy. That number is expected to grow to $455 billion globally, which would be a 17% increase year over year from 2022 to 2023. The question is, how will companies combat this trend? So what will companies do?
Not by forcing people to come to work when they were working remotely before.
Well, so what will they do? Like, how will these companies compete with people who have figured out how to get out of the matrix? And that's why companies are now scrambling. I can tell you from friends of mine that I have that are in the IT industry that are recruiters, the biggest problem that they have right now is finding people willing to go into an office.
Yeah, well.
Because you were locked in your house for 2 years. Your lifestyle conformed to that pretty much, right? And now bringing you right back into the office 5 days a week for a lot of people is a no starter. People are not going to do it.
So what should they do?
So these companies are now, I was reading about this earlier, companies are trying to figure out how to incentivize people to come back into the office. They're trying to figure it out because they're afraid to say, well, you have to start coming back because they don't want to lose all their good employees, right? Those good employees are going to say, I'll go somewhere where I can work remote.
Yeah.
Or if my gig economy is making me enough money, I'll just keep doing that.
Yeah.
And I'll just go ahead and get out of this whole thing because
I guess it'll be very interesting to see what happens over the next 5 years as the gig economy grows.
It's going to be very interesting. You're going to see
them grow.
You're going to see I believe you're going to see a lot of interesting things happen this year coming up. I'm going against the grain a little bit. I know right now everybody thinks 2023 is going to be another terrible year, just like 2022. I don't think so. I think we're actually going to start pivoting around. I think by Q2, Q3, going into the end of the year, I think we'll finally start to see things kind of leveling off in terms of, we're already seeing it. Even, I've been telling you guys the CPI numbers are not real, but inflation is coming down. They've been raising rates aggressively the last few months. Inflation is starting to come down a bit. So I think they'll stop raising rates, at least as aggressively as they were. The people who are doing this don't know what they're doing, by the way. They're 100% reactive. That's all I'm telling you.
2024 is right behind 2023. So you know the whole agenda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we know that's an election year. So be ready for 2024.
Yeah.
So overall, I think, I do think 2023 is going to be a bit better than this year was. I think that people are starting to kind of find their way a little bit. Mm-hmm. Going in. I think people are getting used to. We're getting used to the abuse now, right? We're getting used to the increase in our rent. We're getting used to the increase in our
the conditioning phase is complete.
We're getting used to the fact that our FP&L went up by $30 for no reason. Like, we're getting used to all this stuff, right? So now it becomes okay. Now we're getting used to it. We can take it. Conditioning phase. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do we move forward? Mm-hmm. What's the next move? Who's going to blink?
Who's going to do something new first?
Who's going to do something new first? Hopefully it's you, because in 2023, everybody, all you guys that are watching this show have something in your gut that you would like to try.
Yes.
An idea, whatever it may be. I encourage you to let it rip.
I do too.
There's nothing wrong with failing. Nothing.
That's the learning process of the fail. Then you get up and you do better the next time. There's something in you.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Go do it. So with that being said, what are your goals for 2023?
Okay. 2023. I have a lot more to learn with my marketing. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to get my LLC. That's number one.
Yeah.
I need my LLC. That is going to be done by the end of January. I need my LLC so I can blanket. I'm basically a social media marketing company at this point. I am managing several platforms and getting better at it every day. I think so. My numbers are starting to speak.
Yeah. You need that LLC for sure.
I need the LLC. It's a long game, and I'm in the long game. I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul. So get the LLC and start funneling the money that I'm making from the other aspects cleanly. But wait, get that set up. There's several things that I need to do business wise that I haven't done yet. So that's first and foremost for the month of January. And I should be healed soon with my foot, and I can start a new fitness journey. And
because you haven't been able to work out.
I haven't been able to do anything. My body is not the same. And exercise is a very big part of my life. It makes me feel good. It makes me think better. It makes me sleep better. Energy begets energy. I wake up earlier. Everything runs better when you work out, guys. I know it hurts. I know it doesn't feel good at first, but it will change your life. I know they all say, I'm going to exercise at the beginning of the year. Try to stick with it this time.
Yeah.
And don't beat yourself up if you don't go every day. Who's going to go every day? Go 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Go 2 days a week. Just go.
If you can inspire, if you can inspire someone to go with you, it does work better in pairs. Like that's why when I went in the military, there was a buddy system because you do better. They kind of pair you up unofficially with somebody. You do better in pairs.
Yeah.
People do. We do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get somebody with you to do it, try to get somebody who's might be a little bit more motivated than you, though.
Yeah. You need to put someone to push you.
Someone to push you. You don't want somebody that
can lay back down and press snooze with you.
Yeah. You want somebody who's going to, come on, man, let's do this. We got to grind. So hey, buddy system for workouts, great. Once you get going with the workouts, it's going to be, you're going to.
Then you'll come up with more things that you can. It's funny. The people that have the most going on find slots for more things.
Yes.
And the people with the sedentary lifestyle that's got nothing going on, they're always like, yeah, but I'm just so tired.
Can't find time for anything.
I just can't seem to find the time.
Can't find time for anything.
But the people with the most, they still find a slot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
It'll teach you to find more slots.
And it all boils down to, I believe, just opening up new pathways in your life. Like just, whatever, it doesn't have to be a podcast or this or that. Something.
A new hobby. I'm going to learn how to shuffle dance. I want to shuffle dance so bad. I'm going to learn as soon as this foot is better.
I told my kid, I said, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you're going to do something. Let me know what are the things that you're going to be doing this year. You pick the sports, you pick it. And if you don't want to do sports, okay, you're going to do something. Glee club, something. I don't care. Glee club.
Robotics.
I don't care. Robotics.
Arts and crafts.
You're going to learn to play an instrument. You're going to do something. My kid, luckily, it's been because I've programmed her because she's been doing at least 2 sports since she was like 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. So she's now just, it's part of if she's not doing that, she's, why are we not doing anything? Yeah. you want to program your kid that way.
Yeah.
So it's healthy across the board.
Now it's your turn. What are your, I'm going to get a few things. I've got the first 3 months ready. What about you?
So, yeah, which is a good way to do it. Like, you don't have to look and say for the whole year, but just, like I said, break it down into quarters if you need to. For me, I mentioned at the beginning, I want to invest a bit more back into the podcast itself. There's a couple of things that I want to do. I do want to invest in a new camera. I do want to invest in some better lights, upgrade the studio a bit. As far as, milestones, when it comes to the podcast itself, I'd like to see 200 subscribers by
February?
by March.
Okay.
By March. If I get to March, if we can get to 200 subscribers, I'd like to see that. Those are goals that we want. We're going to start rolling out some swag this year. I've got somebody right now working on T-shirts for us. So we're going to start. We're going to start doing some giveaways. We're going to spice the show up. We're going to start doing some giveaways with some shirts and things like that. Contests. We're going to be doing. My goal is to figure out how to enhance the product, right? Yeah. The product being the podcast. So how do I enhance that? And I'm constantly looking at ways to do it, get ideas from other people's shows and things like that. That's my goal, is just to improve what the content we're bringing out to you guys. My fitness goals are always moving because I'm always kind of setting goals with my guys that I work out with, little challenges we do together like that to keep us motivated. And that's all for me. It's pretty simple.
It's simple man.
I'm a classic man. I keep telling everybody I'm a classic man. I'm a very simple man, simple life.
One of those, you need a shirt that says that with classic writing. It just says classic man.
There have been some people that have hit me up because I say this on most of the videos.
I really think
I'm a classic man. I have people telling me that, like, yeah, we know you're a classic man. I'm a classic man. I am.
Yeah,
but
you gotta have that shirt.
I gotta get that shirt. A lot of classic men watching the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, today's show, guys, was really just, we want to talk about goal setting, writing things in, write your goals down, how to attain them, what's your plan.
Get someone more motivated than you are to help you with your goals and your motivation, if that's what you need.
Yeah.
Buddy system,
all that stuff. And if you can
try something new,
man. And if you do, like I said, you're going to see, and don't just try one thing, right? And then that doesn't work or you don't like it. And then, okay, I tried, I'm done.
Yeah, I tried.
I'll go back to my hole.
Get back on that horse.
Now get back on a horse. Find something new. Keep grinding. Where you're never too old to learn something new.
And don't take scores so soon.
Don't take scores so soon. Which could be, like I say, you go to the gym. You've been going for 2 weeks. I haven't lost any weight yet. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Just give it a minute.
Give it some time. No instant gratification.
Yeah, you've been eating Chick-fil-A and Popeyes for a while. It's going to take a while to go back the other way.
That's a whole nother show. We got to talk about how you got to feed the beast, but feed it the right things.
Yeah.
So you kind of be working against yourself if you're eating fast food every day. But
that's another thing to do different.
Just
drive past that Popeyes and Chick-fil-A line. Just keep going.
There you go. So we're bumping up against the time. We don't run too long here, but we'll let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel, of course. Let us know. Say, hey, you know what?
What are you doing?
What are you doing for 2023? What are your goals? What did you accomplish your goals this year? Did you set any goals this year? If you didn't, make sure you set them for next year.
Yeah.
And then you can take a quarterly look, a midterm look, and an end of the year look at, did I accomplish? And if I'm not accomplishing my goals, then I have to change my strategy in order to accomplish them because I'm doing something wrong.
And don't scrap the year. It's okay. Just start where you're at.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So tell us what you think. Tell us what you think, guys. We're interested to hear back. Check us out on Anchor. Anchor, we're still trying to gain some traction over there. Be sure to check us out over there. We got a couple clicks here and there, but it's slow. It's a slow burn over there.
It's a long game.
It's a slow burn over there.
It's a marathon.
We'll get it rolling. We'll get it rolling for sure. So with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. We're out.